Welcome to the critique. Today we're looking at a landing page for a big 4-day communication skills training program.
Right. It's really comprehensive. My first thought, though, is can we maybe sharpen the story it's telling? Make it a bit more persuasive.
I think I see what you mean. Looking at the What's Included section, they list out 12 different skills. Everything from voice projection to emotional intelligence.
Exactly. And by listing 12 distinct communication skills, the material risks appearing overly comprehensive, which can actually dilute the perceived depth of expertise in any single area.
Yeah, it's a classic paradox, isn't it? They're trying to show incredible value for a pretty intensive program. But when I see a list that long, I start to wonder, is this a mile wide and just an inch deep?
That's the weakness right there. A potential client can't quickly see how it solves their specific problem. So the suggestion is to cluster them. Group those 12 skills into, say, 3 or 4 thematic pillars.
Okay.
And those pillars should speak directly to the target audiences they mention later on, the managers, the sales folks, the tech professionals.
So you're not just listing features, you're immediately connecting those features to a professional identity. That's smart.
It is. So, for example, you could take things like presentation skills, public speaking, and persuasion and group them under a big pillar like executive presence and influence.
Right, which immediately grabs a rising manager or a sales leader.
Exactly. Or you could take the more interpersonal ones, difficult conversations, conflict resolution, feedback, and call that pillar navigating high-stakes interactions.
That framing makes the whole thing feel so much more targeted. It feels specialized, not like a general overview.
It makes the investment feel justified.
Okay, so sticking with structure but zooming out to the whole page, I noticed something about the flow.
Oh yeah? What's that?
The organization of the page prioritizes the what over the why. It defines all the contents before it ever gets to the results, and that delays the strongest reason to sign up.
Let me guess. The really good stuff is at the bottom?
You got it. Way down under training outcomes, they mention that 80% of participants report more confidence and, get this, 65% advance to roles requiring stronger communication skills within 18 months.
Wait, 65% get promoted? That's the headline. That's the entire story right there.
And it's buried. It's under these huge lists of modules and prerequisites. So the weakness is just placement. You're getting the ingredients before you even know what incredible meal you're making.
So we have to reorder it. The suggestion is to pull those training outcomes right up to the top. Make it the hook.
Immediately after that first intro paragraph.
Yes, create that aspirational feeling from the very beginning. I get why they lead with the details, to prove it's a rigorous program.
Well, that's a fair point. Do we risk losing the more analytical person who wants to see the module breakdown first before they believe the outcome?
I don't think so, not if we sequence it right. You lead with the one-paragraph overview, transform your professional abilities, and then boom, hit them with those impact stats.
Okay.
Then you present the detailed what's included lists. But now, they're not just a list of features. They're framed as the how. This is the mechanism you'll use to achieve those amazing results we just showed you.
Right. So the list becomes the proof. It's the path to getting that 65% career advancement.
Exactly. It shifts the whole focus of the page from what you get to who you become. And that's way more powerful.
That's a huge shift. Okay, let's talk about trust. For a program like this, service assurance is key. The customer reviews are great overall, but I did spot a little tension point.
The 4-star reviews. I saw that too. Some little operational friction points.
That's it. The page promises this really high-touch service, even a dedicated manager. But then a few reviews mention small things like a short delay in the delivery of printed materials, or assessment report came 2 days late. Now, they're still happy customers, but that little bit of friction, it could plant a seed of doubt about the service promise. It's a small weakness, but it's there.
Yeah, but what if we flip that? Is the goal really to promise perfection, which is impossible? Or is it to build trust by showing you're resilient when things aren't perfect?
That's interesting. So, don't hide the hiccups?
Don't hide the resolution. The suggestion is to take the positive resolution stories from those same reviews and integrate them into the Why Choose Us section.
So you're turning a potential vulnerability into a strength.
Absolutely. Because when you're buying a high-end service, you're not just buying a promise that everything will go smoothly. You're buying a promise that when something inevitably goes a little sideways, the provider has your back. They'll fight for you.
Okay, I really like that. It moves from talking about seamless delivery to talking about dedication. So what does that look like in practice?
Well, you could add a bullet point in that why choose a section, something like exceptional dedication to your success.
Right.
And then use the testimonials as proof. You quote the review from Kevin Brooks, who said his trainer stayed late to help us finish everything properly, or Ryan Thompson's review about how they customize materials for him on the fly.
So you're transforming what could be seen as a minor operational weakness into a story about incredible customer commitment.
Exactly. It shows the team cares about the person's outcome, not just checking boxes on a delivery schedule. It's relationship assurance, not just transactional assurance.
I love that. So today we've really focused on shifting this page from, just a list of features to a truly compelling story about transformation.
Exactly. So to recap the actionable steps, first, organize that huge list of modules into 3 or 4 specialized thematic pillars. That'll sharpen the value proposition.
Right.
Second, reorder the page. Lead with those high-impact outcomes, that 80% confidence boost and the 65% advancement stat, to create a much stronger hook.
And third, take those great resolution stories from the 4-star reviews and proactively weave them into the service promise. It builds so much more trust.
The core material here is fantastic. It's so detailed, and I think implementing these structural changes will just make it that much clearer and more engaging for the right professional.
I agree. We'd love to see the revision, so please feel free to send it back to us for a follow-up critique.